Well, welcome you back to the farm. Today we're going to start a new peach orchard. I'll take you up there to the site where we're going to go. First thing we got to do is I got to move some poles that I'm going to use to build a shed with. I got to move them. Then I got a bush hog, and then we're going to place the trees, and I'm going to let them sit there overnight where I can think about it. I'm trying to do this one right. I've never really done a orchard completely right because I've never had the time, so I'm always in a hurry, but I'm not gonna get in a hurry. If it takes me 3 days to do this, it's fine. So, or parts of 3 days, it's not gonna take me 3 days, but if it takes me part of 3 days, it's okay. It don't really matter. So today's Monday, and you'll hopefully be watching this on Wednesday. I went Saturday and bought 5 trees. I got them down from a nursery, and they're from Alabama, but they come to Chattanooga once a month to sell. So me and my son, we rode down to Chattanooga, picked these up, $20 a piece, and they had other trees too, but they were a little bit too big for my truck. I put these in the truck, my little red truck, and got on the interstate, and I looked in the back, and it blowed. You can see how they don't have many leaves on them, but they were full of leaves when I got them, and it blowed a lot of the leaves off. So I'd stop and I repositioned them and kind of helped out a little bit. So I don't know what I could have done different. I guess if you had a cover over them, it would have been probably the best. But anyway, I didn't think about that on the way down there. But anyway, I got 5 of them. Now they look pretty healthy. I'm not sure if they're dwarfs or full size. I'm going to assume they are full size. So we're going to go with that. But these are Alberta, and I got tags on them. Come a little tag. Don't have no info on it, but nice little laminated tag. But the reason I chose these, and I've cut down a peach tree or a couple peach trees back in the spring or whatever, never produced. I think they were Georgia bales or something like that. So I did a little more research. You got it wherever your area is, do some research. And these are pretty good, but the thing that convinced me about this variety of peach is a guy at the farmer's market. This is what he grows, and he brought a bunch to sell. I mean, he had like bushels and bushels, and this is the variety he grew, which he's just a few miles from here, from my place. So that's what sold me on this brand or this variety. So we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. So the peach tree is Alberta. I got 5 of them. $20 a piece, that's $100, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm gonna go up there and I'll show you the area where I'm gonna put them at and what I need to do to start with. And I gotta get my John Deere and my new log tongs and move some poles, and then we'll get the bush hogging, and I'll tell you my mistakes I've made in the past and what I want to do a little different for these. So let's go on up there and we'll look at the area. Just doing my research, I think Red Haven is like for whatever reason, they're the 0 or the standard, and these are supposed to have fruit 28 days later than Red Haven. So that means they're going to bloom later from my area, because we get a late frost every now. About every year we get a late frost, and it'll kill. This year it got my apples, so I didn't really have a real good apple harvest. So hopefully this will bloom later in the season, and we'll get past that little frost. That's another reason I wanted these. So this area behind me is where I'm going to put them, and you can see I've got some poles in here. I guess they're showing up on camera, that I'm going to pull out and move up to, I don't know exactly where I'm going to put them at. They'll be right in the way. So I'm going to make this right on the other side of where is my little orchard that I started. It's a disaster, so I'm gonna kind of get that straightened up at the same time. But this right here I'm gonna get going, and what I'm gonna do is make this like a lane, kind of down this fence line. You see the side by side here. Down this fence line is gonna be like a lane. I'll have on this part over here. I'll have, of course, my little orchard. And I'll have a fence coming up, go that way. And that middle section down here is gonna be where I'm gonna try to pasture some, either some steers or some sheep. I don't know what I'm gonna do on that yet. So, and I gotta be careful too because I got a water line coming through here somewhere. Kind of got to figure out where that is. But first thing I do is get these poles out here and do some mowing. So I'm gonna go get my John Deere. I'm gonna go get my new log tongs. I have hard time saying that. Log tongs. And we're gonna get these pulled out. I might even just set them over here for now. My shed is going back behind us, kind of off of the barn there. So, all right. So I'm gonna get my John Deere, get my log tongs, and get this moved out of the way. I got all them moved into a new location, and as soon as I get all this done and the garden cleaned up, that's from here back, it's gonna be changed. Got some big plans there, and some new things coming on, and you'll see all that in, I'm sure, in the next week or two in the videos. So I got all these poles moved. I absolutely love that grapple. Not grapple, but tongs. And they did really good. All right, I'm gonna get the TYM, and we're gonna do some mowing right here, get this cleaned up. Did see my water line trench. It's right here. Somewhere right through here. Anyway. Well, the camera didn't follow me over there. I think I found my trench anyway, or where I put it, and it'll be right there. We'll get a more idea on it. And but anyway, let's get this mowed down, and we'll bring them trees up here and kind of get them placed. And I want to talk a little bit about my change of philosophy on fruit trees and fruit plants and all this other stuff. So everything else is looking good, I guess. So anyway, I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then all we'll have is just a little bit right here. Got a burn pile over to my left. I'm gonna clean up around my barn. I got a little mess back here, kind of behind my other little orchard I gotta clean up. And then the new goat lot, or area back there in the back we're gonna do. I'll get it all cleaned up. So I don't really have a whole lot more cleaning to do, but I want to stop because I gotta do the garden. I don't know if I'm gonna get any corn or not. We'll go down. We might look at that in another video, maybe the next video. And pumpkins, I just got about 3 or 4 left that I'm waiting on. And I'm rambling. Rambling. Let me go get the TYM. Got this all mowed down, and I did pretty good. There was an old piece of fence post over there here. This used to be a little pen where I raised my bottle calves. Had a little shed there. Had a little loading chute. I think the end of it was where that tree is. It went that way a little ways, where that old stump that I mowed down. So anyway. My cherry trees, I think all 3 of those have died. I think all my apple trees are surviving here. And my pear trees are good. Now I ran over one with a bush hog about back in the spring because I was cleaning up. And I was actually filming. And I run over it by mistake. And I was just so sick because it was pretty big. It would probably produce next year. And my son had bought those. They're Asian pears, and he bought those 2 trees, so I felt really bad. I was so sick, I almost throwed up, so I just quit bush hogging, and I quit filming. I think I destroyed that little video, but so anyway, I had to buy a new one. I have my own money and replace it, so now it's behind. But I'm gonna lay these trees out, and I think I've got to change my whole way of thinking. My fruit trees and my fruit area, like my blackberries, blueberries, and all this stuff. I mean, I gotta start treating my bees. I think my bees, that's why I'm the world's worst beekeeper, and probably the world's worst orchard. I don't know, is there a name for that? Somebody takes care of an orchard. And this is a pretty important part of our homestead because we put a lot of apples up. She makes apple pie filling, apple butter, apple cider, not apple cider, apple sauce, apple jelly, apple jam. So we need these trees to kind of help on the homestead. So I got to start doing better. Anyway, like my bees and my fruits, I got to start thinking of them as livestock. You know, I wouldn't, my chickens, my pigs, my goats, my sheep, I wouldn't just throw them out here and I'll never think about them again till fall. I won't throw them out there in the spring, come back in the fall, they'd all be dead. That's something I got to maintain every day. So my new philosophy on this is I'm going to start, and my bees, start taking this as livestock. I'm going to have to start maintaining this about every day, or at least once a week, looking at it. Not so much during the winter, but when spring starts coming around, I got to start taking care of this stuff. So what I'm gonna do when I plant these, I'm going all the way. I'm putting the feed fabric around, I'm putting the mulch, I'm gonna fertilize the whole 9 yards. Whereas these, I put them in the ground, I said I'll come back and do that later. I never have come back and done it later. You see it looks like crap. And they're not thriving. So I need to get these thriving. So I want these to thrive. So that's my new philosophy. So once I determine my layout, And I might even buy more depending on the space in here. So, and the camera's sitting on the water line. The water line actually goes this way. So I put my camera there. And I'm gonna start right here, put one over there, maybe 3 here, and then 2 over here. So I might even do 3, 1, and 1. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna get them laid out here. And I think they need to be about 25 feet apart, 20 feet, something like that. So let's get them laid out and see how they look. I'm gonna grab my tape measure out of the side by side and check these just real quick. So they're 15 feet both ways. I'm gonna go check on the internet and see what spacing is for full-size peach trees. So I'm also leave these here and I'm gonna think about it for a while. I might even come back this evening and do it. So I've got one right here too, a cherry tree. I'm gonna replace it with an apple tree. Yeah, it's 15 feet from that row. So I don't know. Might spread them out a little more. I'm gonna think about it and look at it. So it's later on, it's about evening time, about 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this kind of started. I like the layout, so, and it's about, I read on UT, University of Tennessee's planting guide, 15 to 20 feet. So I've kind of spaced them out a little bit, so I'm about 17 feet. So between my rows, and I'll space them out that way. So I think it's going to look nice. I'll still have room where I can put some more over there if I wanted to, and I can come out this way some more if I wanted to too. So, but we're going to get these planted and hopefully get them planted today. I'm going to take my tiller and till the rows on my tractor, my big tiller. That way maybe it'll loosen up some of that, because I know it's going to be hard as a rock. I know it is. It ain't rained in months, so I'm gonna move these out of the way and get that tiller tractor fired up and see if I can till this. And hopefully it makes it a little easier to dig. And if we get them planted today, I got about an hour before dark. Already did my chores, so I'm kind of ahead of the game. Already ate supper too. And hopefully I can get this tilled and get these planted. And if we can get them mulched today, we'll wrap this little project up and we'll move on to the next one. But I don't know if I'm gonna get them all mulched today, but we'll try. All right, we'll move this out of the way, get that tiller over here fired up, and till me out some strips. Been working on the first hole for about 25 minutes. I ain't got down that deep, so I might have to back up. I'm either going to put the post hole digger on or wait till December to plant them. I could probably keep them alive. Of course, kind of ruins my video. So I think I'll go put the post hole digger on because I want to get them planted. Gotta take the bush hog off the TYM anyway because I gotta plant that garlic too later on in the week. So I might as well just do it. All right, I'm gonna go get that on, and if I get back before dark, we'll do a little filming. If I don't, we'll do it first thing in the morning. Got my post hole digger hooked up, and I gotta find the PTO shaft. I think I know where it's at. So the other half of it, I gotta go find it. And it's getting awful late now. The sun's going down, so we'll probably continue this in the morning or sometime tomorrow. I might have something to do in the morning. I just remembered. So hopefully I get this going, and it won't take long to dig them holes. I worked 25 minutes on that one. Like I said, I didn't get down that deep. So, whew, this thing wasn't no easy thing to put up either. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. There's one down. That's a lot easier. I don't think I could have, there's no way I could have dug that with a shovel. It's so hard. I didn't think I was going to do that for a second, but it got it. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. And matter of fact, I'm going to drill these 2 holes, and then we'll plant those 2, and we'll move over here, and then we'll drill these 2 holes and plant those 2. So hopefully everything's all right. And I got a water, and you see me, I put a little bit of triple 10 on there around the roots, packed it in good, and I'm gonna water it in. Well, once I get them all in, we'll water them in. So, all right, let's get the other 2 holes done. sometimes that auger has a mind of its own. Kind of hard to do by yourself. You better have 2 people. One for safety, that's the most dangerous. Really one. I might have got these too close. I need to check it real quick. That auger is one of the dangerous things you can operate, because I personally know a guy, his wife, he's digging something, and she got a coat caught in that auger coat sleeve, and it ripped her arm right off. So I usually don't get, unless I'm doing some precision digging, I usually just do it by myself. This one moved in about 3 feet more than I wanted to. And that was closer than might have thrown everything off. Let me check that real quick while I'm thinking of it. Yeah, this one moved in about 3 foot where I wanted it to. Yeah. Shoot. So it's 12 foot between them. I mean, I don't know if I can dig that back up without hurting it or not. Shoot. Well, I'm just gonna leave it. All right, let's go get some water and water these in, and we'll talk about the next step. Well, that's the first step, and I'm gonna have to end the video here because I gotta go edit it. I already got like an hour's worth of edit, and I got a birthday party I gotta go to this evening. So part 2 will be Saturday's video in the next episode, and we'll put I'm gonna cut some weed fabric to put around it, and then mulch them in, and hopefully they do good. Of course, I might have to water them. I'll probably come back and water them tonight. I won't show you that, and I'll water them again before I put the stuff down. Now, I watered them in the pots really well before I even brought them up here, so I think they should be okay. So anyway, so that's the end of this video, part 1. Come back and we'll finish this up. But I think we got the hard part done anyway. It was I just can't believe how hard that dirt is. It's unbelievable. And it's so dry too. You see how deep I dug down in there, and there's no moisture at all. So anyway, we'll come back and finish tomorrow, and or maybe even the next day. But it'll be the next video, the next episode. Come back for part 2 on the next episode. Appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, support your local farmer. We'll see you down here in the farm next video.